What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back to talk about Married to Medicine. Is this season 9 or 8? I forgot what season it is, you guys, and we will be talking about episodes 1 and 2. We see all the ladies are back except for Mariah and Quad. I miss Quad. I really did. I'm not gonna lie. I really did. I was a bit bored, with the first episode a little bit. I was. Miss Robinson almost fell asleep, honey. Okay. We also see that they talk about George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and the whole Black Lives Matter movement and, what it meant to all of them. So I like that we got to hear, from the cast, especially Cecil. He talked about his experiences with dealing with racist cops and, him being scared if he was going to be able to return home, honey, alive. So, that was interesting to hear about. We also see Dr. Damon, who is Heavenly's husband. He has like this COVID testing he has by drive-through. So I thought that was pretty cool that he was doing. We see Simone. She's talking to her son, Michael, about him graduating. And I guess he's going to be going to a predominantly a white college. So she's worried about him because you got all this Black Lives Matter stuff going on. A lot of black people, just being killed. So, of course, as a mother, she's very worried about her son. And, I don't blame her. She also says that, this whole pandemic has been really hard on her son because he's very social and is used to being out with his friends. And, it's really hard for him because now he got to spend, a lot of time alone. We see Eugene, Toya's husband. He gets changed, honey, in their garage. I was like, look at Eugene, honey, got to take them clothes off in the garage. He said that his job has been very tough on him and Toya's marriage. They haven't been, out on a date in a while. He has to tend to, a lot of patients that is struggling with COVID-19. Some of those patients die. He has not contracted COVID-19, so I was, happy to hear that. We see Dr. Scott, honey, Contessa's husband. He tried to kiss her. He still got his scrubs and stuff on. Contessa was like, dude, get up off of me, okay? And Dr. Scott, what is going on with you, sir? You gonna be cheating on your wife this season? I see that we are starting to have a pattern of behavior on Married to Medicine. It's like each year, one of you husbands is caught cheating. The first year, it was Curtis. The second year, we had to deal with Dr. G. I guess it's Scott's turn now, honey, okay? So we see Scott. He has his niece helping him with his children, and her girlfriend is there. So they do arts and crafts with them. They do yoga. That Layla, that youngest of Contessa's, honey, she is a mess. But I'm glad that, they finally, got some help with them kids, honey, okay? Because they got a lot on their hands. So next, honey, we see that Curtis and Jackie, honey, they have finished up the renovations on their home. Their home is looking very nice, honey. Dr. Jackie got the closet that she's always wanted for her room. She got a glam room and a bedroom, honey, okay? And a nice kitchen. And, the house just looks great. Curtis, he happy, honey, that, he back up in the house with Jackie and he got to spend a lot of money, honey, okay? We see Jackie, she begins talking to Curtis about her relationship with Simone and how they just pretty much say hi and bye these days. These women have been friends for over 20 plus years and that's all y'all doing, saying hi and bye. This is what I think of, when I think about the whole Jackie and Simone situation. Simone is jealous that Jackie is newly besties with Heavenly. She's jealous of that. That is what this is about. Because you can tell how she reacted at that last reunion when Andy was like, well, I thought you and Dr. Jackie would be sharing, a dressing room, to get their makeup done, put their clothes and stuff on. I guess they had been doing that for years. But Simone was like, well, sometimes things change. And then y'all remember she said to Andy, well, would you choose Heavenly to be your best friend over me? Like, why would you say some childish shit like that? So to me, most of the onus is on Simone and her childish ways. Y'all know Simone, once she becomes upset, honey, she's irate and she can hold a grudge. Okay, y'all know Simone is crazy. Okay, so I'm kind of blaming most of this on Simone. I think she just needs to grow up and accept that Jackie and Heavenly are besties now. And like Heavenly can't take the place of Simone because Jackie and Simone got too much history. But sometimes your friend develops, right? A new relationship with a new friend, and you just gotta accept that. I mean, child, we all grown, okay? Next, we see my girl, Heavenly. Y'all know Heavenly is my favorite on the show, honey. She's getting ready for Daddy's 50th birthday party, and it looks like they're gonna have crabs and salad and drinks and cake, and, it looked like they trying to do a little something. Her house looks really nice. I love how they decorated everything for the party. So next we see Cecil, Toya, this new girl named Anele. She's like, almost a neighbor of Toya? Is she getting ready, honey, to move where Toya is at, her and Eugene? I guess Anelia's husband is a doctor as well. He is serving Dr. Aiden to me, honey. Okay, I did not care for Dr. Aiden and Mariah like that. If y'all been following me for any length of time, y'all know I did not like them like that. But also, I didn't like how, Mariah started this show and how they all began treating her. I didn't really like that either. And I have a question. Do any of you all miss Mariah? Do you feel like they should have gave her an offer, to come back to the show? Put that down in the comments. So we see Simone in her confessional stating that, her and Cecil, they both like Damon. So it's only right that they go along with LaToya and Eugene and Anele and her husband to celebrate Dr. Damon's birthday. But then she gets to making some smart ass comments about Heavenly. They played the clip of Heavenly basically dogging Cecil for being out of a job and basically saying that Simone's relationship would be better with Cecil if he had a job. Y'all remember that whole thing that Cecil went through before he got into real estate. He had stopped working for a while. Wasn't he in the IT business? I believe so. But you can see that Simone is petty and childish and still can't let shit go. I thought her and Heavenly had hugged that shit out and was done with it. But, we talking about Simone, honey. She has a history on this show, honey, for just holding all types of grudges. So next, honey, we see Jackie and Contessa. They're having a conversation. They're on their way to Damon's party as well. Contessa got her boobs out, legs out. Dr. Jackie is like, girl, what is up with you? Y'all know Contessa is, wasn't she in the military? She's kind of reserved, but hell, Contessa came to party with the girls, honey. But anyways, they get to talking about Jackie's relationship with Simone and how, they haven't really talked. They kind of just do a hi and bye, and the whole situation, it really hurts Jackie and it makes her feel uncomfortable because after all, her and Simone have been friends for over 20 plus years. Jackie tells Contessa that, she's really emotional about talking about Simone because she gets very emotional about it. Dr. Jackie is wondering, where did me and Simone really go wrong? Contessa shoots back at her and says some people really don't like sharing friends. I believe she's talking about Heavenly. And Jackie says, honey, we too grown and mature for all of that. Well, you might be, Jackie, but I don't think Simone is. We see Simone, she's talking to Toya about her relationship with Jackie and, how they haven't talked. Simone says that Jackie was always the middleman in the problems that she has between, her and Heavenly. But if y'all squash that, then Simone, what's the problem? Like I told y'all, there is a cancer involved in the cancer. I ain't talking about the damn zodiac sign. I'm talking about the problem is Simone. She's petty, you guys, and territorial in her relationship with Jackie. I don't care what nobody say. You see Simone backtracking. Oh, well, maybe I misjudged my friendship with Jackie. And even Toya was like, 20 years, you ain't misjudged what y'all had in 20 years. Simone is basically you guys trying to talk tough, and I ain't got time for it. I love when Contessa told Jackie that Jackie and Simone is the foundation of the group. They really are. Those two are sisters, compared to the other women on the show. I love them when they talk. I'm really going to miss that. Even though I have my issues with Simone and her petty and childish behavior, it is sad for me, not to see that, Jackie and Simone, they're not close anymore, to know that, they really, you guys, got to get this friendship back on track. Hopefully they could get it back on track. Okay, so we see Contessa and Jackie, they arrive to Dr. Damon's party, and we got Heavenly. She's telling them they have to put these shields on, and she got to get their temperature, so she does that. So we see Simone and Toya and Eugene and the Anele lady and her husband, they all join Damon, give him a hug, wish him a happy birthday, and then we see this awkward moment of silence between Simone and Jackie, where, it kind of looked like Jackie didn't even get up to hug Simone, or as Simone says in her confessional, this is exactly what I was expecting from you, which is nothing. I'm like, oh, could you guys just make up already? So we finally see Simone, she's like in front of Jackie, and then Jackie, gets up to hug Simone. You could tell the love is still there, and they begin, to do some talking. Child, they get to talking about COVID testing, and I'm like, if y'all don't talk about y'all friendship, honey. So that damn Toya comes on in and interrupts Jackie and Simone from talking. I'm like, Toya, sit your ass down, okay? I want to see Jackie and Simone interact. We see Simone and Jackie both in their confessionals saying how awkward it is, because after Toya makes that little comment or whatever, they kind of stumble to continue their conversation. So, child, it's just sad, honey. It didn't came to this. Toya introduces her friend Anele to the group. Oh my God, Heavenly is so crazy. So I'm looking at this scene. We got Heavenly and Dr. Damon. They talking to Simone, and then Heavenly out the blue gets to saying, I love my man and we have sex on a regular. Heavenly, girl, that's just too much information. Then she says, our relationship is so perfect. We got Simone making faces like, bitch, shut up. Because y'all know Simone don't like when Heavenly get to talking and stuff like that. She feels like it's fake. Ain't no marriage perfect. So Heavenly is a fool though. So we see Dr. Damon, him and Cecil, they get to talking about how Dr. Damon was pulled over and had a gun put to his head several times by the cops for doing absolutely nothing. And they get to talking about the whole George Floyd situation and how it was unfortunate. So we see Toya, honey, she's tearing up the crabs and just drinking up a storm, honey. Y'all know that Toya can drink. We see Dr. Damon, honey, he heads over there to where Toya and Heavenly Heavenly and Simone and everybody is sitting, and he offers them a shield, and Toya was like, well, I already have a shield. Heavenly was like, bitch, I don't like your tone with my man. Y'all know how Heavenly is, honey, when it come to daddy, honey. She like, just take the damn shield. I was cracking up. So next, honey, we see Heavenly's dog trying to kiss all on Simone, and and Simone's like, why is your dog trying to kiss all up on me? And Heavenly was like, cause he love you and I love you. I was like, here we go. So Heavenly gets to asking Simone, like, I need specifics on why, I have not heard from you. Not Toya. Heavenly feels like when they was in New York at the reunion that they resolved a lot of issues. So she like, well, bitch, what's up? I thought we was cool. Heavenly tells Simone, I miss you. I'm not gonna say it no more. I'm tired of saying it. I'm like, Heavenly, you is crazy. Toya, adds her 2 cents into the conversation, saying how Simone and Heavenly like made up, rolled around on the floor. Then Toya, I believe Toya is drunk, honey. The husbands, they like looking at Toya like, girl, what is wrong with you? But Toya accuses Simone and Heavenly of faking it out, honey. It's kind of looking that way. Heavenly says that the makeup was real for her. Toya tells her to shut up. I'm like, oh shit, what did I walk in on? Heavenly says out loud, Toya is drunk. Yes, Toya is drunk as hell. We can all tell. Next thing I know, Toya and Heavenly is going back and forth. I'm like, what happened? What had happened? Okay, Toya was like, bitch, you could put me out, but I gotta call a spade a spade. She keeps saying that Heavenly and Simone faked, working out their relationship. Now, I don't think Heavenly's part was fake, but maybe Simone, because Simone didn't really forgive Heavenly, especially if she hasn't really talked to her, since New York? So, ciao. The girl Anele is, new to the group, but she is steady, commenting on the situation like, well, if y'all could do all of that, y'all don't have a real friendship. Girl, you just became a part of the circle. Okay, who is you? We don't know you, honey, from a can of paint. We see Toya get up, honey, and storm off. The guys is looking like, what the hell done went on? Too much tequila. That's what it looked like. Too much liquor, honey. So, honey, let's head on to the next episode, honey, of Married to Medicine. This is for episode 2. So we see Toya. She storms on over and talks to all the guys and just says she is sick of the foolishness that is going on between Simone and Dr. Jackie and Heavenly, Curtis says to Toya, you are frustrated about something else and you're taking it out on the men. Toya says she wants to go home. Eugene says that, he and Toya, honey, they just need to walk and talk. Child, Toya is on 20, honey. Okay, Toya be getting drunk as hell at these little shindigs they be having. So next, Simone tells Heavenly that she should have picked up the phone and tried to talk to her and let her know she is not harboring any ill feelings towards Heavenly. Simone confesses to Jackie that for Jackie to tell her in New York that her relationship with Heavenly is equally as important as, their relationship together, that hurt Simone's feelings. And this is what I'm talking about. Simone is childish. She is the problem in this situation. She making this situation more difficult than it has to be. All Jackie said was, Heavenly has been a very good friend to me as well. Jackie felt like Simone didn't really have her back with Buffy, and I agree with that. Because Simone, when Buffy was on the show, you was all up her ass. I get y'all cool, but hell, you wasn't on your girl Jackie's side. You was trying to make it look like she had malicious intent. I guess when she had said to everybody that Buffy was infertile, a lot of you all, y'all didn't like, what Jackie had to say about that, honey, because I remember some of y'all comments, honey. Jackie begins to reminisce about all the times that they were there for each other, for their fathers. Y'all remember when Jackie's father got sick and Simone, I think she found her father dead. They both have been through painful times in their marriages. They both was there for each other. which is more of the reason why you guys need to nip this in the bud. Okay. And I'm putting really the onus on Simone, because to me, she's the one that has this big grudge towards Jackie just because she's friends with Heavenly. Okay, make it make sense. Can't your friend make a new friend? Damn. So the next thing I noticed, honey, is Heavenly says to Simone, so you never said anything derogatory about Jackie, have you? And then Simone said, why would I ever say anything derogatory about her? She gets up, walks off screaming. I said, here we go again with that damn loudmouth Simone. And Tessa is in the middle of it, honey. She says that they both are acting tough. Jackie and Simone, they trying to act like they don't care about each other. But, honey, she see right through the bullshit. They both love each other, but they're both being very stubborn. And I mainly, like I keep saying, I mainly am blaming Simone for this, honey. So the next thing I noticed, honey, I see Simone. She is crying to the new girl. Cecil walks up. He was like, I thought everything was cool. What's wrong, boo? What's wrong? Simone tells Cecil that it's 3 against 1. I'm like, here you go with that victim mentality talk. So she heads back to Heavenly and Jackie and tells them she's getting ready to go. Simone says to Heavenly, I am not blaming you for my relationship issues with Jackie. You're not, Simone. I mean, those are the words you say, but your actions, they say something else. Next thing I notice, honey, is Heavenly and Simone is going at it about, what Heavenly said about Cecil. What was that, last year or something? Like, child. Even Jackie is in her confessional, like, they saying the same stuff that they said last season is old. They need to move over it. I wasn't expecting a blow up like that, but this is why I say that Simone still feels a way about Heavenly, okay? And she can act like she don't, but she feel a way about Heavenly getting close to Jackie. She don't like that shit. She's still mad at Heavenly for the things that Heavenly said about her husband. If you know what she said about your husband isn't true, why do you even care? Oh, did Heavenly call Simone dirty? Oh, child. He said, I'm trying to get along with your dirty ass. Oh, child. And Tessa says, why she can't just be the pretty girl at the party, honey? Okay, she always has to end up being a damn bouncer because she had to hold Heavenly back. Y'all know Heavenly can scream and yell. Simone too, honey. It's just a mess. Child, did y'all see how Daddy got Heavenly together, honey? He was like, stop talking, calm down. I was like, come on, Damon, okay? I see why Heavenly got an affinity for you, honey, okay? And that Heavenly shit right on up, honey, especially when Daddy is talking, honey. I know what you mean, Heavenly, because my dad, my man, that's what I call him, Daddy. He know how to put me in my place a bit, too. So I get it, girl. Damon says to Heavenly, you don't have no real reason to be upset with Simone. Simone walking off saying that Heavenly lies so much. I'm like, child, fix it, Jesus. So Simone gets back in a little van that they came in there on. Toya is on there. Eugene gets up to leave because he don't want no problems with the women's mess. The Anele girl is telling Toya what happened, how Heavenly was all up in her face. Toya talking about, do I need to whoop a bitch ass? Toya, your drunk ass ain't gonna do shit. You sit your ass down, okay? And spend up all Eugene money because that's all you know how to do, girl, okay? Eugene tells Cecil he just don't know what to do. Cecil is talking, COVID is happening, Black Lives Matter is happening. We got Daddy, when he was talking to Heavenly, he got to telling her, black people are under attack right now. I'm like, child, they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. These heifers is always arguing, always turning up, because y'all drink too damn much, okay? Y'all always drink it on this show, okay? But I love it, though. I like the drama, okay? I like it. Jackie and Curtis tell Heavenly bye, and child, the party is over. So next we got Toya and her kids. Toya looking good, honey. She out there playing tennis, honey. Okay, her sons, they are so handsome. Those boys are getting older. Toya says the boys are ready to go back to school, and actually they're going to be starting a new school that is more sensitive towards, Black Lives Matter and protesting. And she just kind of felt like she had to take them out of their old school because it was only a handful of Black people there. And I know how that feels, growing up and, being around a whole bunch of white people. It is uncomfortable. Even though for me, I technically kind of came from white people. My great grandmother is white. And my mother, my mother's mother is biracial. My mother is Black, honey. It's crazy. But, I know how Toya feel about her kids, being around all them white people, especially at a time like this, honey, where everybody just acting all racist and stuff. The one boy, Toya's son, I forgot his name. I think his name is Avery. The one that looks the most like her. He began saying that, now he has to start a new gang. I said, gang? What is going on, Toya? Toya corrected him so quick. She was like, no, you go be there to make new friends. I know that's right. You don't need to be a part of no gang, honey. So next, honey, we see Scott and Contessa. It looks like they're going to be opening up their own practice. We see the construction, that's taking place on the property. They began also talking about how they still need to work on their marriage. I'm like, what is going on, Scott and Contessa? I think I see a lot of power issues in this marriage. I don't know. And I just see, for some reason, you guys, I don't see them staying together. I don't want them to break up, but I just kind of see them growing apart. It seems like they are never together, on the same page as far as business is concerned. Hopefully this new project they're working on, will bring them together. That's what I'm hoping, honey. But that ain't what the streets is saying. The streets is saying that Scott has been out here creeping on Contessa, honey. What y'all think about that? Some lady that came out. We'll get to it as we get, a little bit further in the season, honey. But yeah, I kind of see these two growing apart. It just be looking like Scott is kind of checked out, I also didn't like how Scott began saying, oh, I don't want to see no more therapists. Damn, nigga, don't you want to work on your marriage? Shit. I mean, that was a red flag to me right there. Once these men began acting like they can't take their ass to therapy. I'm just saying, make it make sense. Okay, so next, honey, we are at Dr. Heavenly's office, honey, and I see Funky. I see Funky Dineva. I think Michelle Brown, honey, somewhere talking about him. Shame on you, Michelle. You rub it off on me, girl. But I see Funky Dineva, and he is a fool. He had his mask on. She's going to do some dental work for him. It looked like he had the Caesar and Duchess problem, where the side tooth is missing, honey. Okay, she had to put a little implant up in his mouth. A couple of y'all want me to talk about Funky Dineva's opinions on OG. Y'all know he been doing some reviews on the show, so I'll try to get to that this week. I was so busy last week. And this week is going to be very busy for me as well, but I will try to get to it. What do you guys think of Funky and Heavenly's relationship? Do you think it's genuine? A lot of people feels Funky is being a social climber. I don't think it's kind of being a social climber. I do get that from him. Excuse me, but I don't think that's the case with Heavenly. It seemed like him and her, they have a lot of fun on YouTube, being on each other's channel. So y'all let me know what y'all think about their whole scene. Okay, so next we see more from the new girl, Anele. I think she said her husband is in the plastic surgery business. I'm not sure. And she also said that she used to work in corporate America. Yeah, she said she was a global forecasting analyst. I was like, oh, okay. So you had you a little career, honey, but before you became a doctor's wife, honey. Okay. Anele also lets us know that she is a blogger, honey, okay? And, she said that it works hand in hand with being a mom. She already has to stay home and raise her kids. So, she's Indian. She loves fashion. And I don't know. It sounds like she loves being a blogger, honey. Heavenly go ask her, is that a real job? I'm wondering why Heavenly would ask her something like that. You sit up here hanging out with people like Funky Dineva. So, girl, make that make sense. I can't wait till we get to that clip, honey. It looked like the Anele girl and Toya, they're really close. She said Toya has introduced her to friends, and, they show like a whole bunch of pictures of her and Toya together. And I guess the people that built Toya's house, they are building her new home too, her and her husband's. So that's cool. Sounds good. How y'all feel about the new girl so far? She's cool to me. I don't have no issues. Okay, so next we got Simone, Cecil, and her son Michael. They're having a graduation party for Michael, and it's kind of going to be outside of Simone's practice or whatever. So a lot of people are going to be dropping by. They're barbecuing, having drinks. I thought it was really messed up that Simone didn't invite Jackie. She invited Toya, but I'm like, Jackie is the one that delivered this boy. And, we see a scene with Jackie and Curtis, because Curtis is cooking Jackie a nice meal, honey. Jackie was all turned on by the meal, but, Jackie told Curtis, she's hurt that Simone wouldn't invite her, to her son's graduation party. She's been close with Simone's kids for years. See, that's how honey, it's Simone that's holding the grudge, honey. It ain't Jackie, honey, okay? So we see Eugene, he's there. It looked like him and Toya got there separately from each other. But he speaks to Simone's son and tells him how he remembers him from when his son, was about the same age. So he said that it was nice to see, how Michael, I guess that's his name, how he has grown up and he's getting ready to head off to college. So then Eugene, I think he mentions he had to leave for work. So we see Toya there with their two boys. And Toya ends up talking to Simone and gets to telling her, I just wanted you and Jackie to work out your differences at Heavenly's party. I wanted you all to get to the point where you all trust each other again. Simone feels that she has put her ego to the side, and, she pretty much laid it out on the line, what has hurt her in the situation with Jackie, and Toya is just kind of looking at her like, bitch, no, you didn't. And I'm here to tell you, Simone, you did not do that. You have not put your ego to the side, because you wouldn't have got so upset at Heavenly's party. You wouldn't have acted that way. So to me, you're not being genuine. You're being passive aggressive. You are holding a grudge towards Jackie and Heavenly because you are jealous of their newfound friendship. Let's just call a spade a spade. Let's just call a thing a thing, So last scene is the last scene. We see Heavenly and Simone. They get together to kind of talk out their issues. I feel like Simone is a bit of a flip-flop, because she goes saying her confessional, well, I'm here to talk to Heavenly. I feel like we could kind of move our relationship forward. What relationship? You don't really like that her and Jackie is cool. I think Simone puts up with Heavenly, but I don't think she likes her like that. I think she probably thinks she's funny and, successful, but for some reason, I don't think Simone is feeling Heavenly all like that. But it could just be me. Who am I? Some little YouTuber. Like I always tell y'all, with a few gummy bears and a few Scooby stacks, honey, in my savings account, honey. That's all I am. Who am I? What do I know? Simone says when it comes to Jackie, she's just not convinced that, I guess Jackie is going to be genuine with her. I'm like, how the hell are you convinced with Heavenly, somebody that you don't even like that, over somebody you've been tight with for over 20 years? And if I was Dr. Jackie, I wouldn't even I don't know if I would want Simone as a friend anymore. I don't think I would be able to trust her because she just be flip-flopping too much, honey. Okay? Child, Simone pops a bottle and damn near got it all on her, honey. Heavenly feels like Simone jumped on Mariah's side when her and Mariah was at odds. Simone began saying, okay, that's fair. I see how you could see, I see how you could believe that. I love that top that Heavenly had on in the scene. Heavenly also mentioned, there was a lot of back and forth between the two of them on social media. Maybe she misconstrued some things, so it looks like these two are kind of agreeing, to their differences, kind of putting them to the side and understanding that all of this is probably one big misunderstanding. Hopefully, honey. Heavenly tells Simone she never meant to hurt her, and that's from the bottom of her heart. Simone asks Heavenly, how is Jackie doing? I'm like, bitch, that's your friend. You should be calling her. But Heavenly tells her that she's doing good, but I don't know who's mad at who. And Simone says she's not mad at Jackie. I say, bullshit. You are mad. You are hurt. Heavenly tells Simone that you gonna have to call Jackie. I think it's on you to reach out. We got to get the Golden Girls back. And I like that Heavenly told Simone that, because Simone needs to grow the hell up, okay, and put her pride to the side. And I kind of think that Jackie is kind of sick of being the bigger person in the friendship. And, damn, why I always got to call her? I feel like she should call me. Child, I was confused by this last part of the scene, honey. It looked like Heavenly's dog was eating a squirrel, because Heavenly thought he was pissing on her stuff. Heavenly screams out, Simone, I forgive you. Now, bitch, you got to get out. And that was the scene, you guys. So, y'all get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about these episodes, honey, of Married to Medicine. And whose side are you mainly on in the whole saga between, Jackie and Simone? Do you think Simone is the one that's being, the bitch in this situation and holding a grudge against Jackie? That's what Miss Robinson feels, honey, okay? Do you feel like Simone is jealous of Jackie and Heavenly's friendship? Do you think that played a role in the demise of Jackie and Simone's relationship? Don't forget, you guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.